This video is going to be partially about my stubbornness and apparently poor understanding of video resolutions. I'm going to talk about recording painting videos in 4K Ultra HD versus 1080p, the regular HD, which is also referred to as full HD. So 4K versus 1080p. I'll also talk a bit about this painting specifically, which was my first recorded in 4K. I'll start with my basic failure of logic and reasoning on this topic, which comes from my experience watching TV. Probably like most people do, I have owned both 4K and 1080p HD TVs. Now, I know a lot of content isn't made for 4K, but even when I've watched movies that should be better, they don't blow me away. My eyes just can't tell a huge difference. I know 4K is better, but it just doesn't seem to be better enough to matter much to me when I'm watching TV or movies. So fast forward to me trying to make these painting YouTube videos. Since I'm flying blind here and learning as I go, I figured a good starting point would be to consider my experience watching TV. It seemed logical at the time. If there's not that much of a difference on the viewing end, surely it's similar on the recording end, right? As it turns out, no, I was completely wrong about this. Recording in 4K is pretty significantly better for these videos, and I think the key comes in what I've read online about 4K containing 4 times as many pixels as standard HD 1080p video. Even when downscaling the 4K recorded video, like for example to Instagram, you still end up with a better quality video due to the massively increased pixel count in the original source video. The additional pixel density also seems to help when you're cropping into other sizes. I'm not an expert at this, obviously, but it just seems like the data supports 4K, and I probably should have seen it before now. Aside from my complete misunderstanding of 4K versus regular HD, there's also another factor influencing my stubborn decision to stick with 1080p for so long. As I've mentioned, art is a hobby for me, done mostly in my spare time. Because of this hobby status, I naturally try to stick with the most cost-effective solutions for pretty much everything. It's a big reason why I use budget paints and film all these videos with my smartphone. And why I use the free iMovie app on my iPad to edit my videos, and a smaller USB drive to transfer videos, and so on. Anything to keep the costs as low as possible. In all this time making these drawing and painting videos, I just assumed my low-end equipment was the main reason for my iffy video quality. I'd still like to upgrade to a better camera, but I can see that recording in 4K with my phone would have actually solved a lot of issues. In hindsight, I probably should have just planned by getting an iPad with more storage and recorded 4K video from the very beginning. These 4K videos definitely take a lot longer to save, process, and transfer files, and the files themselves are just much bigger. For example, the original video for this painting was close to 80 gigabytes, whereas a 2-hour regular HD video is usually around 15 gigabytes. So, looking specifically at this painting, obviously to me the video quality is improved. I also got a pretty good camera angle for the recording, but I have to admit this might have been a bit too much in my way, so I might have to push it back over a little bit next time. I think I did a good job here of building my smaller zones of color and then blending them later, but I actually did a pretty bad job of putting the features in the right place. I'm still trying to practice freehand portraits without measuring, and I'm getting better. But in this case, the eye on the viewer's right-hand side was placed way too high. I tried to correct it during the video once, and I didn't quite get there. So after the recording, I actually went back and did it again. So you can see on the thumbnail for this video that the eye is moved into a better position. I think maybe I had the 4K recording situation too much at the front of my mind and wasn't as focused on feature placement and angles as I should have been. I've mentioned before, my eventual goal is I want to try painting from life. So I really need to get down this freehand painting without measurement and try to get these likenesses without using too many tools to help me. It's kind of been a mixed result so far, but I do think I am getting a little better. Other than some less than ideal positioning, I think the painting and video experience went really well here. I need to get used to all the additional time and space needs that go with 4K recording, but I think this needs to be my way of operating going forward. Not only does it help on the YouTube side, but the Instagram video I think looks better too, even though Instagram downscales it from 4K to 1080p. So it's just kind of a little jump in quality in my opinion. So that is all for this one. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about my experiences battling these various levels of video quality. I've had quite a struggle with it. It makes me wonder if other artists out there are also struggling with something similar. So I'll just let this painting finish itself out, and thanks for watching.